In this video, I'm going to be talking about everybody's favorite Void Warframe, Xaku. Now, Xaku is an amazing frame. They excel specifically at high level gameplay, and I'll get to that in a moment. But because of that, players that play them in normal low end gameplay like normal star chart might feel they're a bit too weak compared to other frames. But this is just not the case. They're extremely overpowered and they're amazing. Now, the first thing I'm going to focus on is their autoplay damage turret ability. Everyone loves their second ability, and this is because of the damage scaling aspect of it. As you can see now, it's only 3000 damage, but the thing is, it scales incredibly well at higher level gameplay. Each turret does 50 times strength times enemy level. That means the higher the enemy level, the more the damage will scale. Now, I haven't done the math personally, but from what I've read and from everything I've heard from people that have gone to level cap, at 200% strength and at level 9999, which is level cap, each shot will do about 1 million damage. And they shoot, as you can see, pretty damn quickly, about a shot per second, or a little bit less than that maybe. And so if you have 15 guns out, or 16 guns, I think is the maximum with high range, you'll be doing 16 million damage per second, which is enough to shred pretty much every enemy at level cap. And the best part about this is that if you keep on Vast Untime, which is the fourth ability, if you keep that upkeeped, then you're never actually going to run out of your duration timer, because so long as that ability is upkeeped, every other ability you have has their ability timer frozen. So you can always keep the passive playstyle active so long as every 30 seconds or so you cast your fourth ability, which is just fantastic. Essentially, they are quite literally an autoplay Warframe. Though like I said, at lower end gameplay, they don't do too much damage, but at higher end, they excel. They're absolutely beautiful. So with autoplay out of the way, insane damage scaling out of the way, the next thing to focus on is their complete armor and shield stripping. If you scroll through your three, you have a few abilities. You have Gaze, Deny, and Accuse. Accuse will allow you to turn enemies into allies, and Gaze is what we're going to focus on here. Gaze is quite a nice ability because what you can do with it is armor and shield strip the enemies by locking this one in place. It becomes immortal, but if you look around, the other enemies in its vicinity are also armor and shield stripped, making them more susceptible to damage, which is always nice. Armor and shield stripping is something that is useful at any point in the game, whether you're on normal star chart or at level cap. Armor and shield stripping is incredibly important for your damage. The next thing I want to focus on is actually something a lot of people hate in this game. Enemy overguard is something a lot of people hate. I would say for good reason, because it kind of just makes enemy scaling pretty bland. The moment you get to high levels, it seems like every enemy has overguard and it kind of just gets annoying. But with void damage, which adds a 1.5 times multiplier to overguard, you can shred enemy overguard with literal ease. It's not even funny. So if you hate enemy overguard, the only Warframe you need to focus on playing 100% is Xaku. They will get rid of that enemy overguard that you find so pesky like that. It's instantaneous. And on top of being overguard shredder, Xaku also has nice survivability. I wouldn't say it's the best in the game. In fact, I'd say it's pretty tedious. The fourth ability gives you a 75% chance to dodge incoming attacks. Now that by itself is quite nice, but it's not enough to keep you alive, which is why you need shield gating. So if you have on Brief Respite or Augur mods, you'll be able to shield gate with ease, and if you have on Catalyzing Shields, it makes it even better because that increases your full shield gate immunity. I'd say it's almost necessary. And you want Brief Respite ideally because 150% of energy spent is a lot better than merely 40% of that energy spent. If you get only 40%, then you're not going to have a lot of shields at all. So you want Brief Respite so you get more shields for your survivability. But even if you don't like shield gating, Xaku also has the ability to, like I mentioned, accuse enemies, turning them into allies, and then using gaze to lock enemies in place. And if you want, you can even use deny to make them float. Essentially, her 3 is just one massive crowd control ability. You gain allies, essentially just mind control. Then you can make enemies float, keep them suspended in the air so long as the duration is upkeep, which you can easily do just by retapping your 4 anytime it gets pretty low, essentially making them always perpetually stuck in the air until you decide to kill them. And then as for gaze, so long as you lock down an enemy, makes every other enemy in the vicinity armor and shield stripped, as I already mentioned, but it also keeps that one enemy just locked down. Xaku is truly a passive autoplay Warframe with very little need to upkeep on anything, so long as you cast a Qs on some enemies every now and again and make sure gaze is upkeep so enemies are armor and shield stripped, and then your 4 is upkeep so your duration is frozen. It's pretty much almost impossible to die. Now you can obviously get sieged and killed pretty easily actually if you don't shield gate properly, because 75% chance is not 100%. So the chance of dying is still definitely there, which is why the synergy between her abilities is quite lovely, because it pretty much all focuses on their survivability and ability to pretty much be an auto player, with, like I mentioned multiple times throughout this video. And honestly, that's pretty much just about it. While they are a bit of a glass cannon and energy intensive because the constant need to be casting abilities, they are incredibly useful in higher level gameplay, with their second ability scaling exponentially with the enemy level and your own ability strength, and their ability to armor and shield strip enemies for the team, and just their insane utility. I mean, the abilities with their 3 is fantastic. Xaku is an absolute amazing Warframe, and it makes a lot of sense why you see a lot of people play them. And with that being said, that's pretty much just about it. So tell me, what do you love about Xaku? Or rather, do you love her or do you hate her? And with that being said, until next time.